Blood remembers, and bone obeys. Red-bound name, now come unmade. Let silence bend, and shadow break. Let what should sleep begin to wake. I summon not, I plead no grace. I do not knock, I tear this lace. By braid, by bond, by vow beneath. I call to that with many eyes, and that with many teeth. Open wide, O mouth of dread. Let the door be walked, not said. A rock, a rock, a rock.
Go ahead and make a roll for me. Your magic stat or a flat D100 is fine.
Difficulty?
There is none. Well, there is, but I'm not going to say.
Okay. It's saying 50. Do I just leave it there?
Yeah, 50 is fine. Just ignore
Okay.
if it says pass or fail.
Okay.
Never mind.
Well. So we get a 44.
Okay. Where?
Pass.
So you're opening a doorway. For those who don't remember where we left off, Cora did a crazy ritual to open a door. Where would Cora want to go? And I mean in the deepest, darkest pits of herself. If she could have a door to anywhere, where would it lead?
There's a couple places, but I do think that since we just worked on the puzzle
Mm-hmm.
and we talked about the death of a god and how we recognize the place with the eyes, and we're focusing on the fact that we're only halfway through the puzzle,
Mm-hmm.
I think she'd be thinking about the other version of the room where the other side of the puzzle might be.
Okay. What do you have on you at the moment? Like physical things that you can carry with you?
I think I would have my typical bag.
Yep. Okay. Do you
Various
think it
magical
would
knickknacks
be...
inside.
Yeah, do you think it's reasonable for Cora to have like skeleton keys in her bag? Like
Yeah,
an
I'd say so.
assortment of shit that you would use for magical whatever. You strike me as
Basically.
the type to just have a shit ton of knickknacks in your bag.
Yeah, like crystals, dried herbs, bone.
Yeah, bone. Ooh, bone's fun. So here's the deal. This roll was just to see how much control you have over where this door goes. You did the ritual already. You did it correctly. So it was always going to open to potentially, the puzzle door. It was always going to give you access to that. But if you rolled really, really well, I was going to allow you to have another way or another place that this door could lead to. You rolled a 44. So I'm going to allow you 2 extra places this door can lead. Now, I don't know how Cora knows this, but you know it intrinsically that right now you can pull out whatever item out of your bag and it will become a key to this place that you are going. You get 3. 1 will lead you to the puzzle, to the other version of the room that you are currently in, or somewhere. If you want it to be like the very beginning of this whole area, you can do that. Or you can just have it be alt-world version of this room that you're currently in. But then you get 2 other places that you can go. But you need to attach them to a key, and you need to tell us what those keys are because you can lose them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I like the suggestion of a skeleton key.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like one would be that.
Okay.
I don't know why, but I also like the idea of like a bird skull.
Oh, I was going to say a bird bone. So yep, I'm with you on
Okay.
that one. Yep, bird skull. Okay. Is it your bird skull?
I think it would be
Yeah, okay.
left over from that.
Okay. Might I suggest that the bird skull can take you to your apartment or somewhere that you may have had this bird before?
Mhm.
Because there is symbolism in that, choosing that option. But if
Mhm.
you want it to be somewhere else, it can be. I'm just offering some assistance here.
Yeah. Let's see. I think for the third one, Okay, you saying that we can go anywhere makes me think that she probably would, or I would probably have the intention of going over to the other room. But then maybe in like the sweep of magic,
Yeah.
the possibility of going elsewhere would come to mind. And I think right before I would choose, if there was a choice, where to go, my memory would go back to that night at the carnival. And I think I would have in my bag maybe like a pretty rock or something I was given.
Your ring?
Or the ring, yeah. Actually, yeah, because I don't wear it.
Yep.
I'd probably keep it in my bag.
Bro. There's not going to be time travel in this, I swear. Okay, cool. Awesome.
You say that every show.
I know. And I can't help my fucking self. Well, this happened without my intention. Such devastation I had not intended. But I'm into it. Okay, so I think it happens in an instant, Cora, where you cast the spell and you feel almost kind of propelled, I think, forward into your own magic, and your whole body is kind of ignited with the sensation of power. Maybe some of it is coming from Ishna and kind of like magnifying what you can already do. But as you go to open this door with this skeleton key, you're in a place that is nothing. There's nothing around you. The room falls away. You can maybe vaguely hear the voices of your companions, but you can also hear voices of other people, maybe at another time in a different language, and they feel distorted and faded, and you are kind of in a space in between as you pull out a red thread from thin air almost and loop it around this skeleton key. And then you take that thread and you push it outward and let it go somewhere. And it leads away into the dark where you can't see anymore, but you know it's going to exactly where you want it to go, which is the other version of this room in the other place. And then you reach over with your left hand and guide out another red thread and tie it around your bird skull, like through the eyes and maybe the beak, and you let that go, and you know exactly where that's going to. It's leading to your apartment. Now, just to confirm, did you want it to go to your apartment? Because you can really take it anywhere that you want.
Either the apartment or where I first found the bird.
Ooh, where did you first find the bird?
I'm not sure where.
Yeah, okay.
Someplace outside.
I think it's fun to do that, because then we can just decide as we go. So somewhere outside where you found the bird. Now, I am going to give you a little tidbit of information here. One of these places leads back to the same realm as your apartment already. You have the opportunity to go somewhere else entirely with this other one. Like, your ring is going to take you back in time, but it's also going to take you to, potentially where you're from, potentially, if you want it to. The bird skull has the opportunity to take you somewhere else entirely, if you would like.
Entirely, like someplace we haven't been to before?
Mm-hmm. Someplace, sometime. You will have to access it here, though. This is where the door is being made.
Toronto, 2018.
Yeah, like seriously, you could go anywhere. You could,
We meet Miranda.
This is the moment where we could potentially jump the fucking shark. You could go all the way back in time to fucking medieval times if you wanted to. You rolled a 44. You get whatever the fuck you want.
She whispers, "I've always loved dinosaurs."
Yeah, exactly, right?
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Well, I think for the sake of the campaign, I'm going to open it to the table.
Yeah, that's fun.
What is everyone's thought?
Yeah. You know what's fun about this? On episode 33, that this fucking happens.
On episode 33, I roll a 44, and we can go
wherever the fuck you want. Yeah.
I
I mean, that's hard because I think, well, you could go anywhere. For the sake of the campaign, I feel like my question is, where would Cora want to go?
So here's a fun thought too. If you think about like, where does Cora want to go? We answered that question with the ring, I think. But another fun thing is, where would fate take Cora?
Yeah.
Without her realizing it, her tapping into her power allows her to really go anywhere.
Well, it
So
would
how's it-
probably take her somewhere where she would be the most powerful. Like if Ishna was in the equation.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, where is she the most powerful of all? Because there's the difference of being a revenant.
Mm-hmm.
But is there like a place where she's even more powerful than that?
It's a really good question.
She says knowingly. BB knows.
How important a part of a spell is intention?
Incredibly important. So but when I think about it, PBU and metaphor here, her specific intention is, I'm taking us where I think we need to go, right?
Mhm.
Which is the other side of this specific, puzzle place that we are in. I want to take us to where we've already been on the other side. But she's rolled a 44. So my GM interpretation of that is like, this is where I come in and give you guys something crazy cool that maybe you don't realize you need, but somewhere
Where we
deep
need
in
to
her,
go.
it takes her where she needs to go. So, but also narratively, we don't know where that is because this is improv. I mean, I have a couple ideas, but I'd rather open it up to you guys to figure out, it could be,
I mean, what
we
is
could do a
Cora's-
safe doorway to fucking Eyeball Land where Stalker, open the knife to take you to. We could do a
Safe.
route. Yeah. Well, I'm saying a safe way
Oh,
to
the
get
door
there.
is safe.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the door
yeah.
is safe. But keep in mind, you are creating a doorway that can be used by other people other than just you, if they
Oh.
know how. Yeah, it's a door. She's literally just, kind of making an
there
otherworldly door.
Ever.
Yeah, it's there forever until someone takes it away. And if people know that it's here, they can use it, assuming they know how to use it.
It's definitely not your apartment. That's too risky.
Yeah, I think the apartment is definitely very risky. However, we could say narratively it opens the door directly to wherever B team is right now. That we could do that.
Both teams stuck in that room. It'd be great.
I mean, I also think that it's. I was thinking the same thing, Mirgs. I mean, my thought is you could potentially discover the door to the BBEG, the person you're looking for. You know what I mean? It could lead you right into the endgame boss, the motherfucker who did all of this to you. This door could just take you to him.
Yeah. And I think that is partly on her mind as well. It's like the thing we need to do in the moment, the thing that she wants to do from the past, and the thing that she wants to do in the future. Oh my God, Merce's face.
Yeah. Well, it's because I have another suggestion, but I don't know. I think we should as a table decide because it narratively could make sense, but also I think it's probably the least option that I would want to pick. But the other option is to take you to Athmore, where Nocturne takes place, because that's where Ishna ends up somehow. So narratively, it just opens the door improv-wise for whatever happens to him to happen to him. But in terms of it having relevance to what's happening right now, it doesn't really.
Yeah.
So I think narratively that would mean that Ishna kind of comes in and takes over, but you rolled a 44. So in my head, that shouldn't happen. Cora has complete control over what's about to happen right now.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, is probably taking some of his power to do it.
I had like the first thought was like a very dark option, literally of dark, which is if you open the door to the BBEG or the big bad, you know, a fly just flew into my mouth, so that's ominous.
Wrong character. That character's
Oh yeah.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Then maybe this is how they get access to these doors in the first place and learn how to like travel between places.
Yep.
You know?
Yep. And the other thing is you can know where it leads and not take it yet.
Yeah.
You know, so you don't have to just stumble in and go, oh hi, by the way, and get yourselves killed. But you can know that you have a way there. And I have to be honest, the Dark Three being in a fucking campaign together and then just accidentally, I think that's fucking sick as hell. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you're the reason why all of this happened in the first place because you made a door. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, I'll say this. Acorn the player, I'm cool with whatever option, whatever makes the best story.
Yeah.
I think Cora, have reason to do any of it.
Yeah,
so
I think so too.
Whatever works.
Okay, what do the rest of you think? I love this about this show.
I think we're going to wind up rolling a dice because no one's going to make a decision.
Well, I will. If you guys don't want to make a decision, I'll come in and I'll help. But I was leaving it up to you guys.
I'm having trouble deciding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it should be BBEG.
So the bird key, is it the bird key?
It would be the bird key. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that makes the most sense. But also
skeleton key, bird skull key.
Yep.
Engagement ring.
She used the bird to she killed her bird to open the door.
Yep. It makes perfect fucking sense.
At the very
dude.
beginning.
Yeah.
She uses the bird key to open this door. It's the door that allows all of these people to be like, wait, we can travel between worlds.
Yep.
And then that's when they like create their plan.
And that's when you guys get fucking kidnapped and like put through the
Yeah,
door. Like it just makes perfect sense. Yeah.
It's now
really
is
good.
the moment that it happens. Wait, and then it's so good because it's like, oh, we have to like create the scenario where she will create this door. So we have to build this like
elaborate thing. We have to make sure that she gets here and blah blah blah. We have to
yeah.
We have to make
the
sure.
The beginning is the end, and the end is the beginning.
Exactly. And it's got this whole vibe of like, you know, Cora's ascension into power. Narratively, I think it's sick as fuck. I like it.
I agree.
Greg?
Does anyone
Orcish?
disagree?
I have nothing but troll ideas. Like we could go into side quest. We could go into Manhattan 2088.
You
we
could
go
technically, yeah. You could do all of those
wherever
things.
we want.
You could go into side quest.
The Spider-Verse.
Could you imagine, like next side quest
Start
episode,
playing
it's
it.
just you guys playing and the other players aren't there. It's just like, oh, okay. We're just here. It was us all along. Haha, it's so funny.
That would be so funny, huh?
Orcish, what do you think?
I don't think I have an opinion. I think whatever you guys feel is best. I support you.
Okay. So supportive. Thank you.
It's episode 33. Let's do it.
Let's fucking do it. Okay. So then I think as you're doing this red thread, Cora, I think you hear in the distance, you hear a conversation being had that is very much like, well, what do? We have to put all the pieces in place to ensure she opens the door, blah, blah, blah. You're hearing this kind of talk. Again, it's distorted. I think in this moment, you can very clearly determine one voice and another and another. There are 3 distinct voices here in this conversation. Did your attacker talk to you?
Yeah.
Then you recognize
briefly.
it. You recognize one of the voices very clearly. You'd never forget it as having this conversation over here. And I think maybe that grabs you and you immediately take that thread and go, go. And the way I'm imagining this is you just you grab onto this thread and then you very delicately kind of like push it and let it go as if it then leads its way. But I like the idea that you have a bird now that comes and takes it. And maybe we can't see this bird, or maybe we can. Maybe it's an ethereal kind of like songbird. What was the bird that you sacrificed?
Well, I don't know, PP. It's probably 3 birds or something based on what world we're in.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Oh, I love that. Absolutely.
It was a cockatoo in one. It was a parrot in another.
Yeah.
It was like a third one in another place. Yeah.
Let's go with Sparrow. There's a sparrow in another, yeah. So I love that because then you being in this in-between space, this bird represented a doorway to you, even when your first intention, you used it to open doors. So the fact that you've got this skull from the bird that you've already used in another ritual now just makes this one stronger in this ritual. And in this dark space of nothingness, you kind of see this ethereal bird. And depending maybe on which bird it is, it's got a different aura, right? So maybe the sparrow has this like yellow hue to it. It's ethereal looking. There, you can see right through to where its skeleton would be. And it takes the thread and flies off in one direction. And then you've got the parrot taking the thread and flying off in another direction, et cetera, et cetera. So you've got these 3 distinct doorways. And they are now attached to these physical items that you have on your person. And you know that if someone knew how, they would be able to open this doorway and use what you have made. However, as it stands right now, the only way through is with your items.
Okay.
And you can sort of wake up or exit this space, or you can go through a door right now.
Well, I think that if we've already talked about it as like a table and we know where we want to go, narratively in the moment, she would just choose and she would go
to the other side.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Last question. Are you going by yourself first, or are you leaving the door open? You can leave the door unlocked if you want, so they can follow behind you.
I would leave it open.
Yep.
I'll leave it, knowing it's a door and we all have to pass through it.
Yeah.
I would leave it open.
What does this door look like?
Is it one door for all 3?
I love that. No, I don't think that it is.
Okay.
So I think like my first thought was, as soon as you kind of make your decision, you know, we've got a birdcage door that kind of like forms in this space. Like it's one of those situations where if you know that it's there, you can kind of magically see its outline. And then when you go to use it, it's present for you, but you can also be totally oblivious to its creation and existence. So I think this one, because you're going into alt world and not the bird, like I think the bird skull to BBEG is like a birdcage kind of style door. And I think this is fucking fucked up, but I think the door with your engagement ring is a fun house door. Like it's an amusement. Yeah. It's fucked up. Sorry. But I think that's what it would look like. And then it's up to you completely what this third door that leads to the other side of this fucked up crypt is. What does that look like?
Is there like a sign outside the window that says you must be this traumatized to enter this door?
Yeah. It's just like this fucked up, creepy clown. Yeah, door. Ugh.
I like the crypt door looking like an amalgamation of like the stained glass, maybe stained glass and like stone and metal.
Do you think it has depiction on it?
Probably of the woman we keep seeing in like...
Can I make a different suggestion?
Yeah.
I think it's got you guys on it.
Ooh.
Yeah. In like weird, you know how and I never do this. I never like to make references to movies and shit because sometimes when I'm listening to stuff and I'm like, I don't know, I've not seen that movie. What is it? But in Beauty and the Beast, you know how there's like the stained glass version of all the characters? That's what I was picturing. That's what I'm picturing as well based on what you said. So there's like stained glass versions of all of you there. And I think what's super fucking sick is there is a line right down the middle of this doorway where you've got stained glass on one side, which has like a bright sky, and then a dark sky on the other side. And we see B team underneath on the right hand side under that dark sky, and we see A team. And in this moment, you will see Gunner depicted on the B team side on the cover of this, on this doorway, this stained glass doorway.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is sick.
Yeah. Okay, so you kind of open the door, or rather you are already in the in-between space. So you've made the door, and I guess you kind of maybe look over your shoulder and mentally go, I'm leaving that unlocked, and continue on. And then all of a sudden, the darkness fades away and saturation kind of returns to the space that you're in, and you recognize that you are in the other version of this exact same room that you were just in. So that means that you will see the stained glass, but it's fixed and not broken. They're in different places. The walls also look like they've got maybe a fresher coat of paint on them versus the cracked and dusty and empty version that you had before. And then we see Cora kind of stand in this space, look around, take it in, and she's probably trembling a little bit with just the power she just used and the thrill of, kind of being able to open a door to wherever the fuck she wanted to. And there's probably a little bit of understanding in the magic that you just used and how powerful it was, and that maybe people who have the ability to kind of pay attention to when magic is being used around them are aware of your presence now, because this is a pretty wild spell that you just used. And now you know why it was trapped in that book, right? Because you got it from a crazy... Ishna stole it from a book. So at the very least, Sunny might be aware that spell was just used, among others. But yeah, okay. So I will leave it to the rest of you. Do you guys go in the door?
Yeah.
I'm looking at the door. The depiction of everything. Gunnar is on the opposite side, on the dark or whatever side.
That's right.
I'm on the light.
You're on the light side. Yep. No, she's not.
Okay.
She's not depicted. I'm sorry. I meant to say that and then I forgot. But yeah, you don't see her depicted.
That's why
Yep.
I was asking to clarify. So I'm looking at that, and I'm counting heads, and I see Visionary. I see everyone. And I see Gunnar, probably in the place where Deadeye was meant to be. It's clear to me that this is my brothers. I check my pockets. The ash still there.
If you haven't gone through the doorway, yeah.
No, I'm looking at it. I haven't gone through yet.
Yep. Okay, yep.
I call out to anyone. What's this then? And I'm pointing at Gunnar.
It looks like Gunnar. I don't know who these others are.
Oh, you'd recognize Fen. Fen and Gunnar.
There's Fen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And there's Fen too.
This is...
you met him. See?
Oh, yes. The one who threatens with every breath he takes, and he doesn't take a lot of breaths, it seems.
I never found him to be particularly threatening.
He must like you, then.
Mostly.
I only knew him a moment, and he threatened me several times.
Well, that's not really a surprise. I think I did the same. And I'm a pacifist.
That's a fair point. But no, what I mean is... These others... There's Visionary and Pulse Rate, and... Is Edward depicted on it? Yes. And Edward...
I'm trying to think if he looks different. Because he might, right? Because you threw something off, didn't you? Yeah.
I took off a cloak,
Yeah, so he looks a little bit different. Less crazy eye than you would expect, I think. But, I mean, it's hard to tell in a stained glass version of him. But, yeah, you recognize him, yep.
And that's Edward, and he's extremely unsettling. This stained glass, whatever, doesn't do it justice. And that one's Balthazar. And... what does this mean? There's one missing. She's not here. And if your friend Fen went with Visionary to meet up with the group. And he's here. Does that mean that Gunnar is there now?
Gunnar met Final Death. We saw
Then
it.
why is he on this group picture?
Are they all dead, perhaps?
I'm frozen with the thought of it, even.
Would we not know?
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Wouldn't we
Would
feel
we-
something? If a proxy died? I don't know how this works, but...
No, it needs to be activated, yeah? Because Stockel would remember that he did the test, yeah? He cut Cora, or was it me? I don't know, who cares? And it didn't show up on the other. So it's not activated yet. So then why is there a picture of Gunnar there?
Roll for me, Moog. Whatever you want. Mental. It's on,
what
on
is the
making a
difficulty?
connection. Difficulty is going to be 40.
67.
Okay, I'm going to give you a general thought and you can run with it. But I need to be clear that because sometimes when a GM gives a thought, players are automatically like, oh, that's the law. This is a 67, so it could not be the correct thought. But I'm going to, kind of assist with this. When you cut yourself, where were you?
I was in an apartment. Well, I didn't cut. It wasn't
Right.
me. It doesn't matter.
Right.
We were in an apartment.
Yep.
Yes.
And you didn't try anything when you were in the hallway, right?
What do you mean, anything?
You
Which
didn't-
hallway? There's been many hallways.
There's been many, the one that's the
The-
long one, the hallway.
Oh, yes. No,
Yeah.
I didn't.
Nobody
I
tried
called
anything
out.
physical in that hallway, right?
No.
Okay.
Right.
So I think maybe the thought that comes to mind is that might have some sort of significance where you were when you tried it.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
Because we know that there's something special about that Tremere fucked up house that you guys are in. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Chantry.
Yeah. Exactly.
And you said that's just a thought that does pop
A
into my
thought that
mind.
enters into your mind that, especially, I think it's actually super fair in everything that you've been learning as well, that physical spaces matter. So you guys might not need to activate it. It might be auto-activated depending on what room you're in or what place you are in and
Or
occupying.
what world we're in.
It might be prepared ahead of time in those spaces in particular. So I think Moog would be trying to figure out what those spaces might be.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I look down the doorway, and I have this gnawing feeling as my eyes glance from the doorway to the door itself and back and forth and back and forth, and I cannot have failed my mission yet. It's not possible. Can't be. So I look at it and I think, you know what? I look at Esteban. This is clearly from maybe another world. Maybe a different team comprised of all of us, but in different combinations. We are world adventurers now, yes. All of our expeditions go on through different realms.
But very confusing. I don't understand fully, so this could be true. But this one is us, as is.
Yes, so maybe the other one is the world we're going into.
Maybe they're in the next room.
Oh, wouldn't that be fun? We could see what a different composition of our team is. Of our little party.
And also it would make sense in the world we live in, or the worlds we live in, that the man who is desperate to die cannot manage to do this.
Or maybe he's not desperate to die in that world.
I should hope not.
That would be fun. That would be different. Do you think he speaks, I don't know, in a higher tone and is all smiles and sunshine and rainbows?
Dear God, I hope not.
That he only eats candy, not weird hand creatures.
Only candy. No. Oh, yes. No, not even candy. He doesn't like finger food, you see, in this world, if he's different.
Yes.
Just a little pardon for you.
His feet.
I imagine when they're saying this that the picture of him depicted is like his head's down like this and his greasy hair's like over his face and he's looking brooding with blood on his mouth and he just looks like a terrifying vampire.
Yes, I much prefer the thought of that.
Does that mean that when we go through this door, you'll shut up?
Oh, that's unlikely.
I'm already
There's
through
not
the door, by the way.
Yeah, I see
That's-
that. Your cam is dark. So just for those listening, Stalker walked through the door.
Could we
I'm
see the
surprised
other
he's not the
doors?
last one through.
Obfuscated and watching the person in front of me.
Well, the person in front of you would have been Cora, you mean, right?
That's correct.
Yeah. Okay. How long did you wait?
Not long.
Okay. So basically, as soon as the door becomes visible to you, the stained glass door, do you look at the image on the door, or do you just go through it?
I think I just go through.
Okay.
Yeah, I might briefly look at it, but
Okay.
not
Okay.
Not for very long.
So
a few seconds.
Yeah, you briefly glance at it, and you take note of the fact that there seems to be you as depicted on this doorway. And I will note that there is this line that goes down halfway through the door, and we've got B team and A team on one side. Right square in the middle, in between them, is a replica of this door, and it will repeat. You know what I mean? There's a stained glass version of the door, which then has them depicted on it, and then them, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So we kind of have a mind hole of this door painting that goes through. I am not sure if how much detail of that Stalker notices, since he's just briefly glancing at it. But then he goes through the doorway. Cora, is there a door handle on this, or is it like you just walk through it?
I feel like there would not be a door handle.
Okay.
Kind of like in the same idea of like the glass panes you
Yep.
were interacting with, just a pane.
Yeah.
So it's just a door.
So do you just
Shape.
imagine that you go through it like Slider's Gate style, where it just kind of doesn't actually exist, where you just walk through it? Or do you imagine it
Ooh.
has to slide, like physically, maybe like a Japanese door where it slides to the left or to the right?
I like the idea of either one.
Okay.
It does not swing. I don't imagine it swings. It would either
Nope.
slide or just
Yep.
be something you walk through.
I think we'll have it slide, actually.
Okay.
And this one's going to slide from right to left. And when you're on the other side, it's the other way around, like perfectly mirrored. So I think we see Stalker kind of glance at the door. He looks maybe briefly at the stained glass, then for a door handle, doesn't see one, and just brings his hand up to the stained glass and pushes it to the side and is able to kind of open the doorway and walk through. Stalker, when you go in to the door, you do not see Cora anywhere, but you do see kind of in this darkness, and also, by the way, this darkness doesn't feel like any other space you've inhabited before. So take that as you will, whatever it feels like to you. But you do see kind of in the distance another illuminated doorway that matches this one. And if you glance behind you, that door is still there. And then you can see the other one kind of in the distance in front. But Cora is nowhere to be seen.
And that's the only way she could have gone, is through this door in front of me.
I mean, that's up to you to decide. But yeah, I think that's a reasonable assumption to make. It's the only door visible.
Okay, yeah, if I don't see her anywhere, then I would go through that
Just
door.
go through that door. Okay. Fantastic. All right, you three.
Yes.
Well-
Constantine said, is that going to shut you up? And I say, unlikely. There's not a picture of me on this side. And if it was the opposite of me, it would be one that would never be able to talk. which would be Stalker. Is Stalker? No, it's Cora. Oh, this is all getting very confusing.
Right. I turn and I walk through the door.
Okay, then it's pretty much the same thing for you. You saw Stalker slide the door. It kind of slid shut behind him. So you do the same thing and you go in. Again, this space is going to feel very strange. It might actually be very similar. And I think obviously Stalker wouldn't know this, but you would know this. This feels exactly like being inside the coffin. This space. And you look around, you don't see anything. It seems to be an endless space, but there in the distance illuminated is a doorway that is mirroring the one that you're looking at behind you. Like if you glance behind you, but it definitely has that vibe of like, oh wait, that's the same fucking doorway. And I just imagine that you would instinctively look behind you to make sure that it was still there and that you hadn't been misplaced in the space.
I look behind me.
Yeah, the door is still
and
there.
And then I would reach out and can I touch anything on, like, are there walls around me?
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and roll for me, whatever your magic stat is.
Yes. You know me. I like to touch stuff.
Yep.
Wall touching.
Wall touching. It's not my first. Oh, wow. Failure doubles. 77.
The wall touches back.
You're in the...
Oh, I love this.
You're buried
Ooh.
again.
Okay, the thought that you're currently having, Peeves, that you're like, I can't do that because then that would fuck everything up and this character, then do it.
You're in the coffin. You're back in the coffin. Yep. Someone's going to have to get you out. Constantine
Back
is
inside.
just gone.
Back inside his same coffin.
That's right.
The gold one.
Yep, that's right.
Wait, okay, can we just pause?
We don't have to do it. We don't have to do it, but it was the 77 doubles that I was like, oh, fuck, dude.
I love it. I love it.
It was either that or alternatively, you're somehow witnessing the closing of your bar. So one of those two things, but because it's doubles.
I like the coffin.
I like the coffin too. Okay. I feel like it makes the most sense.
Especially since it feels like the coffin
and you're
just
thinking
saying,
about
so
it,
like,
and then all of a sudden you go to touch, and then now all of a sudden you're touching the wall, and it's like your hand stops right here, and then you're like, wait, what? And then all of a sudden you can't see a door, and you're back in the coffin. Yep.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I have a couple of questions.
Yes.
Number one.
Yes.
I cannot remember. We did talk about, did we all talk about, did Esteban tell me that my sire was in the other coffin? Or was that something that you guys talked about amongst yourselves and I was just here for? I'm trying not to meta. I can't remember.
Told
Yeah,
you.
they told you. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. In the first episode, I was able to open the door because I wanted to, if I remember correctly.
The door to your
remembered
coffin?
I had the power. Yeah,
Yes.
I think it was like, so I'm going to try and open it.
Okay. Let's pause
I
here.
don't know if I can.
And see if the other guys go through. Yeah. This is good. Dude, this is fucking sick as hell. Episode 33, of course, this is what happens.
I'm so fucking into it. Yeah.
Episode 33, there's a door. Oh, God. Okay. Gentlemen.
This space that we're in, do we only see the one door?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
And
she is basically materialized
kinda
a
all
stained glass
black.
door in front of you. Yep.
is it in the room or is it in this space where she did the stuff with the three keys?
It's both, but you are in the room without the where you just see the stained glass door has appeared in front of you.
Okay.
So you can walk through it if you want.
Shall we?
After you, and I do an overly theatrical and bow at him and motion
I
towards
do
the
a
door.
very dramatic, large step towards the door.
Towards the
and
door.
go through.
Okay. So you slide it and do a large
Yep.
step into the space.
I hold it for him though, so he can come through behind me.
So he can come through behind you. Okay.
And it's dark down there, yeah? But
Yes.
like, can I see? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
I summon a flame.
Okay.
As a torch.
Okay. You summon a flame as a torch and you step through the doorway and then the flame is like sucked out of your hand, almost like a vacuum of space. As you step into this space, you will notice Esteban is nowhere to be seen the moment you step in. And the doorway that appeared a far distance away illuminated for Stalker and even closer for Constantine now appears to be only a few feet in front of you. So that's the only door that you see, but when you look behind you, it is behind you and you don't see Esteban. But there is nothing else in this space.
this has never happened to me before. And I snap and I'm trying to bring a flame back.
Okay.
And nothing.
You
Is
can
it
roll
working?
for me if you like. No, it's not by
Yes.
default, but if you roll really fucking well, I will always allow it. Crazy
What is
can
the
always
difficult?
happen. Let's do 30, but you're going to have to roll like 1, 22, 11, or 33. 39.
Nope.
So I think you feel the power coming up into your hand. You know that you are doing it correctly, but there's something negating about this space that is preventing it from actually coming to fruition here.
I want to follow that feeling. That's like usually it's like I can feel it almost emanating maybe from my heart.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the flame just goes through into whatever. Like usually it's my hands.
Yeah.
And it's something blocking that. I want to try to follow that feeling and see if I can feel where the block is, or maybe there's a difference or something.
Yeah, I think that you would feel. I'm trying to think about what you may have experienced in your life, but ultimately, maybe I'll leave that up to you. I think it genuinely feels like a mix between a deprivation tank and a pressure chamber, which I understand are completely different things, but the answer is somewhere in the middle. Like maybe when you take a step, you feel your ears about to pop, and then you take a step in the other direction, you feel nothing, and like you're just fucking floating in endlessness. That's kind of what this space feels like. But it is taking anything you produce. So it is actually not stopping it from happening, but it's more like the second you bring power up to the flame, something is eating it, consuming it. Yep. In this space. Yeah.
It's funneling it from me.
Yep. Almost like
do
a
I
wind
want to
tunnel.
do that?
Yeah, you do. What do you want to do?
I want to try to produce the flame again, but this time I want to try to. Things work both ways generally, I found. Cora takes power from me, and there's memories that get exchanged back and forth. This has just been my experience. I want to try to do that. I want to try to give it some bait and suck some of the power out.
I'm sorry, say that again. So you are baiting the space into coming to take your power, and then you're going to do what with it? Try to take it from the space?
I am going to... Yes, I'm going to try and reverse the polarities on what it's doing to me.
Okay. So you want to take magic from this space that you're in. Okay, yep.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead and roll for me again your magic stat. Again, this is going to be really difficult. So we're looking at 1, 11, 22, or 33.
All right. And difficulty doesn't matter then? Or
Difficulty doesn't
something?
matter. You can set something just so that you get the cool, like, success color if you want. But for now, it's
34. So close.
However, I'm thinking as to what this might mean. I think you feel a tug maybe on Cora. Like you're trying to reach into this space, and instead you feel Cora's energy that you're tugging on instead. But then she absolutely is able to kind of like cut it off and stop that from happening. And you can feel that energy pull coming from that door. But you are aware that you tried to pull it from the space, but instead accidentally pulled it from her, the one who opened to the door to the space. Also, the door looks closer than you remember it being. A couple feet.
I take a couple steps away from the doorway, and then I quickly spin around.
The other door is right in front of you. Yep. They are closing the distance between the two.
Oh,
yeah, they're getting
are they
closer and
closing
closer.
when I'm not looking at them, or like if I'm looking at one, do I see it moving towards me?
No,
or
you do
I
not
only
see it
notice
moving. You only notice it when you look away and then back again. Yep.
Quantum.
Yep, that's correct.
Something about a cat and Richard.
That's right. And like in terms of, well, never mind. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to explain how it works.
All right.
Spoilers.
And no one's watching me in here.
Nope.
So I'm going to close my eyes and I'm going to think of Cora, and I'm going to step into the wall.
By wall, you mean
I'm not going towards either door. There's walls on either side of me, yeah?
Well, there's nothing. There's just empty
There's nothing.
space. Yeah,
Oh,
there's
it's empty
just
space.
darkness.
I misunderstood that.
It's just darkness
I'm going to
around
step
you.
into the darkness.
Okay. Then we'll come back to you in a second.
Okay.
Esteban, when you enter into this space through this doorway, please make a roll for me, whatever your magic stat is going to be.
Any difficulty or just
30.
is this I need the big numbers?
Yeah, this is you need the big numbers. So 1, 11, 22, and 33. It's 49.
49.
Okay, so as soon as you enter this space, you know this space intimately. You're comfortable here. This is the coffin. You recognize this, but this is also the same energy that, you know, you've experienced before. You know exactly what this is. And as such, you can see the other doors that Cora created, not just the stained glass door.
Oh,
Yep.
I see.
Yeah. You also know that she's opened these, not necessarily created them, but it's more like she looked at a patchwork quilt and went this one and then like plucked it and kind of pulled it taut and then pinned it, right? So now you can enter that doorway. She didn't necessarily create it so much as she found it and then attached two things together. So they could be broken. They could be unmade, this doorway. It's not a natural doorway that she's made. She's tugging two pieces of cloth together and hoping that they stick together with her magic. And what is happening, I think you're also acutely aware that you four have entered the doorway right after she's made it. But soon there will be no way to enter into this space because they are closing and getting closer together. So eventually you're going to open that door and just boom, you're going to be on the other side. But because she's just made it and you entered in just after and the magic is still fresh and the things are still connecting and solidifying, you were able to enter into this, we'll call it void space for now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are they far away from me?
The doors?
Yeah.
They're a little closer to you than Constantine, but not, you know, super close like we just discovered with Moog. We're going back in time a little bit because you went through the door first.
Do I hear anything through the doors?
You do not.
Okay. So it's the stained glass door. That's
Yep.
like the one we went through.
Yep. The other one's
kind
the
of
bird
funhouse
cage.
door.
Mm-hmm. And the
bird
funhouse.
cage. Shit.
I guess you know about the funhouse too. You would recognize it because you shared
I guess
her.
so.
Yeah, you should.
Right?
Not
I mean,
even
it
I
would be
guess. You
something
would
that
100% know what that is.
I would know that was a funhouse.
Yeah, because
okay.
you experienced her memory as if you were
Oh,
her.
shit.
Yeah. So you recognize that immediately.
Yeah. Well, that's very tempting.
Yeah.
Can I move towards that door?
Yeah, absolutely. You can do whatever you want.
Yeah, I want to move towards the funhouse door.
Yep. Okay.
Is that which one is there one in the that would be in the middle?
I'm going to go with whatever she made first goes into the middle. Then we're going to do right and then left. So I think that means the funhouse is on the left. That's the last one she made.
I wish you didn't say left. Okay.
Sorry. Always left. The new PBU rule.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For some reason, I was picturing it on the right.
Okay, it's on the right
There
then.
you go.
No, it's
Okay.
on the right. Funhouse door's on the
great.
right.
So the bird cage one is
Bird cage is on the left, and then the
Cool.
other one, stained glass, is in the middle.
It's a mirror reflection.
Yeah. And I think
Okay, but the
Esteban,
one in the
when
middle
you,
is clearly the same.
is the stained
as
glass.
the
Yep,
one.
yep. It's.
Okay.
I will say that it is mirrored. So when you like look over your shoulder, you see that one,
Okay.
and then you see the other one mirrored in front of you. I also think when you do that, when you look behind you or look to the other doors and then back, they are moving closer and closing the distance. But you understand what that means. So you
Okay,
don't
so
have
I
a lot
will-
of time here. You have to make a
Okay,
decision.
yeah. I'm going to quickly move over to the funhouse door.
Mm-hmm.
And I hear nothing.
Well, once you're closer to the door, you can make another roll for me.
Oh, shit. Okay. Same thing.
Yep.
3.
No way.
Oh,
On episode
dude.
33, you roll a 3.
I just need to roll another one.
You
And
have
then I win,
become
right?
a god. You are a Super Saiyan god.
I've been Miriam Hale this whole time.
I think when you close, I don't even think you need to strain to be able to do this. I think you just need to focus because this is kind of your element here, this void space. So I think when you get closer to the door, you just hear the sounds of the carnival and the festival and the, carnies and things like that. You hear shouting, you hear kids, you hear all that kind of stuff. This fair cacophony here emanating from this door. But then you also hear a giggle that you kind of recognize. And then you hear the sway maybe of waves and maybe the sound of, is that a sea shanty? Off to your left, further into the dark.
Into the dark?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I go towards that.
Okay. So you start walking in that direction. Oh, fuck, we're going to lose everybody. Split the party
We're
for real.
like splitting the
Yeah,
party.
yeah.
I'm moving quickly though because I'm aware the clock
that you
is
don't
ticking,
have too much time. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Constantine, do you make any noise when you realize you're in the coffin?
Yeah, I mean, I would attempt to open it in
Yep.
a bit of a panic.
So
and
let's
then
go
I would,
ahead and roll and see if you can successfully open it.
Yeah, okay.
We're trying to juggle multiple things happening here all at the same time, which I love.
Is this body or magic?
Body or magic, either way, it's going to give you a different result depending on what you use.
I think I'm going to go with magic because I've been using so much magic.
Yeah, go
Like,
for
I
it.
feel like I've gotten kind of used to it now.
Yeah.
What's the difficulty?
You're going to need 1, 11, 22, or 33, so it doesn't matter.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
32.
We've had 34 and a 32, not a 33
God.
yet. Okay, so you are unable to open this coffin door.
Okay, then I start screaming and
Okay.
banging my hands
What
on
are you?
the
What
coffin.
are you saying? Because Esteban's going to hear this.
Let me out! Help! Let me out!
So as you are
I'm
heading
not supposed to be here again.
towards the sound of the waves and the creaking of the boat, which you can now hear, and the sound of the whipping sails and stuff, you hear that, and the sea shanty they're singing is becoming much clearer to you, and you recognize it. You could even sing along, and then immediately to your left, this very jarring voice of Constantine screaming, "Let me out, let me out." What do you do? Oh, you are muted.
I can't hear you.
No, I know. Okay.
I said something very foul. I didn't want anybody to hear it.
Oh, okay, okay.
Oh,
I was just like upset.
Okay.
Yeah. God. I'm gonna roll a die for myself.
Okay.
Okay.
The result of that die he rolled for himself, for those listening at home, was 84. 84.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm
I could
shivering
just
in
be
my
using it as
boots.
an excuse to go either way. I'm realizing now. Is it just off in the darkness I hear it, or is it towards the door?
No,
The
it is not
banging.
towards the door. The banging is to your left. Like, I'm imagining you started to walk towards, you went to the door on the right, or sorry, it would be on your right. You went to the door on the right, which is the carnival. You started hearing that sound, and then
And
off to the
left
right.
is,
Well, no, because the left would have been the other door. So that's my bad thinking it was left. So it's
so it's off
so
into
it's
the
off into
darkness,
the
yeah.
darkness. So then you go in that direction, and then even further, immediately jarring to your right, maybe again in the darkness, is the sound of Constantine banging on something.
Hilfe! Was? Oh God!
I go towards Constantine.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I go towards Constantine.
Can
I
You can
add
take
something as I
inspiration.
do?
Yeah. Because this is like, damn. Okay. Yep.
Something starts pulling at the back of my jacket to go in that direction.
Yeah. You mean to Constantine or to the ship?
To the ship.
Yeah. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, but the way that I am interpreting this is you have a chance to not let go but you are choosing to let go and
I
go
let
for
go.
Constantine.
Yeah, I shrugged it off. It's done.
Yeah.
It's done.
Okay. You're going to unlock
There's
an
no
ability
point
for this.
changing it.
Yeah, you're going to unlock
Okay.
an ability for this because this is
Jesus.
directly contrary to your, like, this is progress for your character and gaining power. So we'll talk about that later. But yeah, so you go towards the sound of Constantine knocking on the coffin. And the closer you get, as you continue walking, all of a sudden you are acutely aware of the sound of your footsteps. And then you're acutely aware of the fact that you didn't have footsteps before. And again, because you're Esteban and you're sort of familiar with this space, you realize the further that you're walking, the more solid the world is becoming as you are heading into this direction of wherever Constantine is. It begins to feel more and more like the way that it felt being inside the coffin, which for you was actually quite relaxing for the most part. So as you get closer and closer, you kind of start to feel maybe that sensation of the rocking that the void space gave to you while you were in that coffin, as if you were on the sea. So you start to feel that sway. You're not moving. You're just feeling the sensation of the swaying as you get closer and closer. And then all of a sudden, Constantine's voice is right in front of you. You cannot see him. You cannot see anything. It's just still darkness. But it does sound like his voice is muffled and coming from inside something. It was gold, your coffin, correct, Constantine?
Yes,
Yeah.
that's right.
So it's not going to sound like it's coming through wood, but you can definitely hear his voice coming.
Yeah.
It's being
Little metallic.
calling out
twinge
from
to it,
inside
yeah.
something. Yeah, and there is like banging and a thumping. You are acutely aware that you do not have a lot of time.
Can I reach my hands down towards where it sounds like it's coming
Yep,
from,
and
where
you
the
will
coffin would be?
as you do that, as you reach out and you feel it, you're going to feel the form of the coffin.
Okay, then I put my hands kind of where the lid is, and I just
Try to pull
off.
it, throw it
Yeah.
off. Okay, so Constantine, go ahead and roll for me. Actually, if you're okay with it, Constantine, I would prefer to
okay
give
with anything.
Esteban the roll and give him a shift
Yes.
for your assistance.
Sounds
Is that
good.
cool?
Okay, I'm
Okay.
going to try to get you out of there.
You can
when
hear
I'm
him.
going
Esteban?
to count down.
Esteban,
Push when I lift.
I'll do anything you say.
Now is not the time.
Now's your chance. Now's your chance. Now's your chance.
Oh shit. Okay.
I first undo my belt, and then I begin to pull. And then I take off the coffin lid.
The fucking
Okay,
tension
I'm going
release
to
of that
roll.
joke. Yeah. Yeah. You're gonna make a
I
roll.
don't have much time.
Difficult.
Sorry.
Difficulty
Gotta
is
make this quick.
gonna be.
I'm efficient.
30.
I'm German.
Difficulty is gonna be 30, which is the straight difficulty, because before this would have needed a 1, an 11, a 22, or a
Am I
33.
using
But now your
body?
difficulty is straight. No, well, you can use either body or your magic stat. I personally would
Okay,
recommend
I'm
your
in
magic
here,
stat.
so I'm
Yep.
juiced up. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. So I would
Okay.
recommend that.
30.
Yep. And that is the straight difficulty. So if you do happen to roll under this, it is a success.
I mean, how hard could it be, right?
Okay, well,
Oh, no.
now you've
Very
Oh,
hard.
no.
95.
guaranteed that you're going to roll 95 failure. Okay.
You threw me off with this sexual
sorry.
offer.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't even sexually offering.
Everything is a sexual offer.
So they're just like arguing. Constantine's pounding on the thing like, and Esteban's
You
trying.
always misinterpret my words.
We don't have much time. This place, the doors are closing.
Well, open one.
If I could, but then you will be here.
Well, this one would be nice.
I'm going to
Sorry.
allow you to roll twice more, Esteban, before your opportunity to leave this space ends. And I'm being very serious here. This is like kind of essentially perma territory that you guys have
so
entered.
if I have 2 more rolls.
Yes, 2 more rolls.
If I take
you
the
will
second
need
roll,
to take a
I will run out of time.
No. I'm allowing you 2 more rolls. You will need to take Oblivion both times when you do it to be able to re-roll.
Oh.
But essentially, after that 3rd time, you need to get the fuck out of here, or you're not getting out of here. You're going to be trapped here in this space. And who knows how long that is. I mean, at least on the plus side, Cora has a key and can potentially get back here. But like I said before, the cloth is kind of meeting. So She would have to do something very special to get here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm rolling again.
Yep.
For an oblivion.
Yep. So difficulty 30. Go ahead and take that oblivion.
1.
Oh my god, that's a 1 for people
It's a
listening.
1.
I have
That's a
been
1.
fucking sweating, bro. The fucking DM I sent being like, I think this is accidentally a campaign ender. Like, I think the fucking show ends here because these people are going to be trapped in here. Okay, how do you get the coffin open?
I think as I grip around the outside
Yeah.
of what I feel is this, and I dig my fingers in, and I start to, not in a nostalgic way, but more in like, let's say a summoning way. Like, I want you to do something. I start humming that sea shanty that I heard.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, just humming it. And then as you can't see it because everything's black, but there are these,
Yeah.
you know, things that come off my body and snake around the lid and kind of get under it because it's nothing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I'm going to try again. We'll get you out of here.
Okay. Esteban, when you try again, what are you thinking about to kind of like do this or still your mind? Because you're doing something different this time than you were last time. And I kind of like the idea that this is a moment where we can give you something that you can use kind of as a even a mental shift bonus in the future. So the sea shanty maybe is the answer. So if you sing this sea shanty, it will give you a permanent, you know, like if you sing this, it's now a spell component essentially is what you're unlocking. The ability to sing that sea shanty and have it bring you back to this space of the, you know, sea moving underneath you. And now
I have an awful idea.
Yes, I love awful ideas. Let's go. Makes me feel
I think
better
I
about
open
how
it
fucked
because
up I am.
the tentacles go in there and take some energy from Constantine, and that helps me lift it off.
Yeah, okay. I'm okay with that.
To get some drain.
Yeah.
Not permanent, but I just temporarily, like, it's a shift because I lowered somebody else's.
Yeah, I totally
Like
agree with that.
equally.
Also, you guys already have a connection where you get a shift with dealing with each other, right? So I think this is exactly what happens. So Esteban has these shadowy tentacles. For those listening, that's what those things are that he summons, are these weird shadowy tentacles that, you know, kind of, I want to say, come out of his back. And then kind of reach around and are pulling open this coffin lid. Esteban, you are maybe feeling a little bit of panic at the idea we don't have a lot of time of being trapped in this coffin again, of however long it is. It smells exactly the same. You were here for however many, over 100 years. And that panic is starting to rise in you. And as you take a deep breath in, you feel it exhaling and being pulled from you, and you feel a little bit of your energy, your will to fight is just taken from you as these tentacles, and you know they're there. You don't see them, but you know they're there. You've seen Esteban use them before. Maybe they even have a little bit of a sound of, like, you know, water or this kind of weird squelching that you hear as they kind of
flow.
Yeah, as you hear them and like rip this coffin lid off. Now, you will hear the sound of this coffin lid hitting the ground beside you, but you cannot see it. You guys, you did this on your first turn, so you have a little bit of time. You can do one other. You can do one other thing before this door is before you have to leave. So you guys,
we have to get out of here. The doors were going to close.
Unbelievable.
I want to say that I collapse damsel-like into your arms as the lid opens.
Yeah, and one of
and
the.
then
Can I say? I was gonna say. I think you think you're collapsing damsel-like into his arms, but it's actually a tentacle that's like holding you up, and he's looking around for the way out, and he's like, "We've got to go." And maybe Constantine, you like look down, and you're like, "Wait, what the fuck? What's holding me?" As you have this realization that it's not Esteban that's doing it; it's these shadowy tentacles that he has.
All right, well, lead the way.
I make a break for the. Which door should we choose?
The one that Cora went through.
You only see one, Constantine.
I know. Yeah.
Oh, so then I point at the one that I see. This one.
All right, and so we go through the same one, the one that looks the same as we came through.
Okay, perfect. So you two are going to head through the door, which leaves Mook behind, correct? Remind us again, Moog, what you were doing. What was your intention? Yeah.
My intention, I don't know where the other door's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
It could be anything for all I know. So I stepped into the darkness.
Yep.
And now I'm thinking about it to be a little more visual. I think I trust fall into the darkness.
Okay.
And I'm thinking of Cora as I do it.
Oh, my.
Or am I?
Yeah, I was going to say what... Oh, no.
Yes. But...
Can you make a roll for me, please?
Yes, I can. And is it just a D100 or is it a stat or... How would you prefer this roll?
Magic.
Magic. And the difficulty?
30. Maybe 40. Because of Cora's attachment to you.
A 19.
Mercs, can you do that now? Do you see the DM?
Oh no. There's been DMs. This is not good.
Okay, cool. Okay, so you're thinking of Cora as you kind of like step into this darkness and into this space. And what do you think this smells like to you? Where you are right now?
What does it smell like?
Mm-hmm.
Galdania?
Okay. Have you ever experienced anything like this before, Mook?
This realm?
Yes.
Or the smell?
The smell,
or...
the sensation, the realm.
No, not especially not with the magic just getting siphoned from me.
Mm-hmm.
That's new. Usually it just works, and it feels... I think I know why I was so confused about walls earlier. Because it feels claustrophobic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This space is not made for you. You were made of this space.
Oh.
As you look around, I think that feeling of claustrophobia will only increase the longer that you are here. And I think you get a mix of scents and maybe even memories that pass over you in waves. The gardenia, but then you're smelling popcorn. And then you're smelling fireplace. You're smelling the old books in the Tremere Library. Like these waves of these moments in your life are passing over you, and then you hear a voice from behind you.
Mook?
Did I? What are you doing here? I turn around immediately. It's faster than I meant to be.
You shouldn't be here. What are you doing here?
What do you mean I shouldn't be here? You shouldn't be here. We're in a doorway created by Cora, who's me but not me, and I'm not... it's all very confusing. I grab her hands.
I stiffen when you touch my hands, and I'm looking at you with wide eyes.
What are you doing here?
I'm going to answer your question so that audience knows too. You are not, but in a way you are. Like you are you. You're not a figment of his mind. You are aware of everything that has happened to you. And it's up to you whether or not you share that with him. But yeah.
You shouldn't be here. This is not the place for you.
What do you mean? It's just a hallway that's getting increasingly smaller, which is new for me. Usually it just seems infinite or larger or about this long.
It's not a hallway.
What do you mean? There's
nothing.
2 doors.
You need to go through them. You have to go. You're not supposed to be here. If you
What are you talking about? Calm down.
Don't tell me to calm down. Okay? Listen. Don't come for me again.
What does that mean? I didn't come for you. I'm coming to you to save you. So whatever is going on here doesn't affect you and the others.
Doesn't affect. Yeah.
I'm coming for you. I take my hand and gently lift her face up.
I sort of recoil from your touch. You're too late.
What do you mean? You're standing right here. Did you walk into the wall backwards and end up in the wrong place?
You can't talk yourself out of this one, Moog, okay? You're too late. It's okay. I never expected you to come. And you shouldn't be here. And you shouldn't have come. You need to go now. Okay?
And you will come with me.
No. No.
Yes.
No,
There's a
Moog.
door. There's a door right there.
I push
I'll
you
hold
away.
it.
I push you in the direction of the door. You need to go now. You shouldn't be here. Do not look for me. Don't look for me again.
I step toward her, and I grab her head with both hands.
No. What are you doing?
Listen to me. We can leave here together. I promise. Please. Why are you acting this way?
There's nowhere I can go, Moog. I'm gone. I was
You're not-
eaten up.
By what? Where am I? What is this place? Tell me.
I served my purpose, I guess.
Does that mean served
Okay.
your purpose?
What I was made for.
Doesn't matter what you're made for.
I
I'm
won't be
thinking
able
of
to
the
go.
door.
I wouldn't be
thinking
able
of
to
the-
go through the door with you. So
Why?
you need
Why
to
not?
go now. I can't.
I will hold it open for you.
I won't.
Please.
I won't make it through, and then I'll be nowhere. Let me be somewhere.
But-
Maybe here I can, see you sometimes. If I try hard enough. Okay? So you need to go so that I can see you again.
Where are we? What is this place?
I don't know, but it's the after. It's the after, I think. You're not ready for the after. You gotta go. You gotta help Visionary. Edward. Balthazar. You gotta go be Moog. Right?
No, I can't be Moog if you're not there.
It's not true. You're a Moog before me, you'll be Moog after.
I'm Moog in spite of me and because of you.
We're always so dramatic.
I will.
It's better for the plot, yeah? Go on. The movie will be real good. I can't wait to watch it.
I will save you. Cannot stop me.
I reach out and I take your hand. I squeeze it. Gotta go now.
I take that hand and I kiss it. And I look up. Why do I feel like this is the last time we'll speak?
Well, you can just find me in the lines at the theater. Right? When the heroine says something grand, that'll be me. And I'm sure I can hear you from 1,000 miles away.
The grandest. I look at the door as it's getting closer and closer. I don't know what to do.
Yes, you do. You're fucking Moog. Now get your ass out there, and I push you towards the door.
I stumble backwards. The door's right there now at this rate. And I look up.
Yeah.
I look, pardon the turn of phrase, I look her dead in the eyes. I smirk. I love you.
No, you don't. But that's okay.
I laugh to myself. All right then. I'll see you in the wind. And then I kick open the door.
Yeah.
I spin around and I go through.
Okay. As you do this is a space where time is fucky, which we all love here. So essentially everybody who passed through the door, it seems like it went one after another. However, the entire reason this was possible, and this is why I love improv RP and letting you guys choose what you're rolling for, the moment that this happens, Cora, you're going to feel a tug on your power. And if we remember, Cora has a distinct ability to raise and speak with ghosts. So that is what's happened here in this space. Cora, you are acutely aware of the conversation that just occurred because it's only due to your power that it happened in the first place. So you kind of, I'm assuming that you would have allowed that to continue and to let them have that moment. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So, but you are aware that it happened and you can have heard the conversation or seen it or however much because it's your power that did it. And as soon as he comes through the door, you're going to feel that like, of your power being like pulled from you because Moog was trying to, pull from the space and ended up pulling from you instead. And this is what happened as a result. And so you're feeling much weaker now, having opened the door, plus, facilitating a ghost to kind of come and speak to Moog. And then you are all in the same space together, as if maybe only a couple seconds has passed.
As I recover from feeling all of this, I think I just stare at Moog, kind of like to see what his face looks like.
It's to anyone else, I think it would look standard Moog, but you're able to see the pain, the hurt behind it, almost as if you could just peek behind the mask.
Mm-hmm.
My hand.
Next time.
Sorry, my hand reaches out, expectantly. My sunglasses, please.
Do I still have them, PB?
Absolutely. You rolled a 44. You lost nothing doing this. It's a perfect spell.
Yeah, then I would look down to them, maybe take a corner of my shirt and try to wipe off the worst of the ingredients that I put on them. Hand them back. Sorry, they might need a polish.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
Do they look any different? No? All right.
Nope. They're from again, she rolled 44.
Okay.
Normally, maybe, potentially, but she had complete control over the situation. Everything as it should be.
All right.
I don't know if that's exactly the truth, but you know what I
Hmm.
mean. It was as it was before. And
All right.
will be again, apparently.
I take them gently. And there's more caution than before. Almost as if now, where they were just valuable, now they're irreplaceable. And then as I put them on, that mask that you could see through, I think it's a little more difficult to see through. All right then, that was a fun field trip, yeah? Everyone got all their appendages, any missing things at all?
The next time we do that, we hold each other's hands, nah?
Oh, that wouldn't work. They might take off your hand.
I gained a few appendages.
What does that even mean?
I give you like
There's-
a quick glance and
There's
smirk.
tentacles helping you into the room, so
Yeah.
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 Do you think
There
they're
are
still
tentacles. I don't know. I mean, I wouldn't put them away. I'm not hiding them. If I was able to bring them out
there?
and like was dragging Constantine along,
Yeah.
I think they wouldn't be out for long. I think we'd come in and then they would just kind of go away once we're in the room.
Okay, but everyone would see them then, I guess,
Yep.
for an instance.
Yep.
As he crosses over, he has these, shadowy tentacles kind of protruding from his back that were assisting.
By the way, I'm fine. I can walk. I just fell in. I was
Yeah.
attempting to fall into his arms
Yeah.
dramatically. So
Yeah.
I'm like trying to
We
fight
shouldn't
my
have rushed.
tentacle
I
by
just
walking.
imagine the tentacles are kind of maybe feeling around like hands would for a wall or whatever. Or I also imagine them kind of maybe one of them moved the door open because it has to slide, and then a couple more kind of peek out the doorway before he walks through. It's almost like they're just anticipating his movements and where he's going to be. And then once he's safe, they kind of do that thing that I guess like fronds or antenna might do for insects and things, and then just kind of recede away into his back and disappear. And as you look around you, you are in the same room that you were just in terms of like the stone dome that you're in. The lighthouse-like pillar in the center of the room is there, but nothing's broken. So all the panels exist there. There's also some fresh paint on the walls that wasn't in the other version of the room. It is more clear that it is divided into 4 equal parts. Maybe you see a little bit of that faded color, fresh paint, I guess, over 200 years. So it's not super fresh, but it's definitely fresher than the other room. So you can see that they match the colors on the pillars on maybe where they're supposed to be, where the glass is supposed to be.
Does anything about the room feel different?
Not to you, I don't think. Unless you think it would. Actually, you rolled a 44. Didn't you already unlock an ability that was something along being able to tell between realities? I think you did.
She was seeing
in your
double,
apartment.
right?
You were seeing double, bro. Yeah. Oh, 100%.
It was, do you want to see the truth?
Yeah. Okay.
With that ability?
Yep,
Yeah.
we're gonna level that ability up now. So technically,
Okay.
in PBU terms, you're now at tier 2 of that ability, which means you can fucking tell now when you're in place A versus place B. And maybe if potentially you go to place C, it's gonna feel weird and different than you just kind of have this weird internal compass that tells you when you're in a certain reality or not. So yeah, you know, as you feel around, you're like, oh, okay, I see. I know what this feels like. And to answer your question, yes, it absolutely feels like VTM world to you. And the other one feels like, that weird PBU feeling.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
Okay. Then after I take a look around the room, I'll notice this and turn to the group. I think it worked. I think the doorway took us back to the original world. The one where, at least, Stalker and I met.
Right. So what now?
Perhaps we see what this one has to show us then.
Yeah, I turn to the lighthouse, and the only difference is that there is no broken pane.
Yep, and there's fresher paint, so there are actually colors that maybe denote where these slides should be placed.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. You have solved this puzzle already in the other room without needing to come here, which is very impressive, by the way. But you can kind of look at the wall and go, oh, I see this one's supposed to be blue at the base, maybe, because you do combine them to create a particular color, but you can look at the colors around the room and go through and start mixing them again. Red and gold, red and green, blue and green, those kinds of things.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
As you do that, as we see Cora pulling these slides together one by one, you are going to see the same displays, right? Except instead of a woman bound in silver chains, it is a man. Man, you maybe recognize, Cora.
As who?
Who else could it be?
Is it my maker?
Yeah. With the red eyes. Maybe you don't know for sure because, again, it's like this weird hand-drawn depiction, but I think the red eyes bore into you a little bit because he is still depicted with these red eyes. And you will see, him walking barefoot through the garden of, blood flowers. Children are following him. It's the exact same thing. He's just depicted as a male instead of as this woman.
Okay. Yeah, I think as I combine the colors and we see these images, I think my expression would get more and more stony, and I guess like angry, intense.
I think probably by the last one too, right? And to remind everyone, he's now standing alone in a field of ash. The sky is colorless. There's no wind. We do see over 1,000 eyes bearing down on him, right? Which Stalker would recognize, or any of you who went into that realm with the 1,000 eyes in the sky would recognize that. And he is standing before a small altar, and he's bearing a single offering, which is that strand of braided red hair, which we all know to be Cora's. He's got this wicked smile on his face as he looks up and makes eye contact with Cora, and those red eyes kind of illuminate a little bit and exhales a name. What name does he exhale, Cora?
In the other room, it was Moog's name, right?
Yeah.
And only Moog heard it.
That's right. I think it makes sense that he calls your name.
Yeah. And only I hear it.
Yeah.
I think after that happens and the image goes through its 3 repetitions before flickering out, I have to walk away. I walk away from the lighthouse and just go to another side of the room and take a minute, stare at the wall. Anyone who's watching me, my shoulders are tight. I might be trembling a little bit. Really trying to get my breathing under control.
I'm watching and I follow. You all right, love?
No.
What's wrong? Tell me.
It's him.
Who? That was a woman before, yeah? The other room? And who's he?
The one I'm looking for. He is involved in this.
With the red eyes.
That's right.
Did he, by chance, say a name?
Look at him a little more closely. Because I remember, I don't think we found out what the name was. I don't think Moog told us. You remember Moog?
The name in the previous room?
Yeah, did you tell the rest of the group what that name was?
I did not know.
No. Everybody heard something different too, if I recall. Somebody heard Ishna, and I know Esteban heard Sophia.
That's right, yeah.
I heard nothing.
Yeah.
Some of us heard nothing also.
I will also...
I think I heard Ishna, yeah?
I think Cora and Moog heard Ishna.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody heard Moog, though. Who was it? Was it Stalker? Orcish won't remember.
I don't know if anybody heard Moog. Moog was like the talking
This is
heart.
like a month
That's
ago?
what I remember.
Yeah,
Yes,
right.
Moog was the talking heart.
Moog was
and
the
there
talking
was-
heart.
Oh,
I
yes,
don't
yes,
remember
yes, yes.
anyone
With
hearing
the
Moog's
heart.
name.
That's right. But not in the last one. Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm checking.
Yep. So I will also
As-
say anybody who's watching Cora right now as she's speaking and her features are hardening into stone, unmoving, as she's letting this kind of rage boil up within her, but it remains not visible. Whoever's looking at her will be able to see a red glint in her eye, and anyone who saw her in the alleyway using her power, who may have thought it was Ishna's eye coming through, it's not. It is her power entirely, and it comes from her maker. Yeah, but there is a moment where you can see her eyes kind of lighting up and with a little bit of that ember red, and it looks a lot like the fucking picture on the wall.
I did hear a name.
And was it the name that I heard? And then I mouthed, Ishna.
Yeah. No.
No. What did you hear then?
My name. Even from afar. Even in this puzzle left for us to solve, he's taunting me.
I do not think he's taunting you, princess. I think he's invoking you.
Inviting, even.
Well, consider the invitation received.
Are we going to RSVP? No?
I look at Moog and kind of smile, like wryly and almost kind of like with a little it's the same kind of anger, but I look at Moog and crack a joke the way that Moog would, which is like, that's one party I want to crash. Yes.
Oh, now you're talking. There's that sense of fun. And they say I'm a bad influence.
So it's probably at this moment you'll realize there is now a doorway here. You would also acutely understand there's probably a doorway in the other version. And by doorway, I mean not the one you made, but as soon as you kind of like finished this puzzle and watched that animated picture kind of unfold before you on the wall, and you went through all of them in sequence. Oh, wait a minute. I misspoke. I don't think you technically did them in the right order, but I already said it. So we're going to say that the door opened as you were telling this kind of story. I think you're probably acutely aware that normally you would have needed to tell this story in order of events of what happens and what, but maybe your magic is in the room to explain my fuck up, and that the door just opened because you just created a doorway. So as soon as you finish it, it opens, and you know that the door is open on the other side as well. So from this point forward, you can progress in the dungeon, but there may be moments where you need to come back, use this doorway, go to the other version of the dungeon, and get things to progress forward. You have 2 mirrored versions of this dungeon.
Okay, so now we can go back and forth.
Yep. That is correct.
Is the animation still going? Does it repeat? Or does
It
stop?
repeats 3 times and then stops and sputters
I
out.
want to walk over to it.
Yep.
Cora,
Yes.
that spell you cast to make the door. And I kind of point up at it. Didn't you say something about a bunch of eyes and a bunch of teeth in this spell?
That's what was written in the spell.
Huh.
Can't be a coincidence, can it?
I doubt that.
If you watch that again, I think in this moment, maybe Moog, maybe Constantine, the two of, I'm just imagining Esteban talking to Cora. They have this recognition in this moment where they have this idea, and then maybe one of them glances over to Constantine, and Constantine just pulls the slides out, puts them back in again, and the picture begins again. And as you are watching it, you see all the elements in place for this ritual of creating a door that Cora just did. You see the altar, you see the sky, you see the many teeth and the smile, as if potentially this is something that was being depicted in this image.
I'm so sorry. Can we just pause just for a second? Can we just pause for a second? Because you just did that. It was like that before. And we were like, oh, wouldn't it be crazy if Cora was the one who taught us how to open the door? And then you were like, oh, actually, the imagery was all there the whole time. So she was already. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, that's what you're hearing.
Oh my god.
Okay, great. Cool.
Episode 33.
We're all just taking it in.
Yep.
There are other slides, right? Like we went through all of them and they're all the same,
And
except now they just have the
they
guy.
depict him instead of her. Yep. There might be a couple of other variations, but nothing really that stands out to you as much as it being, they look the same. It's almost like you just have a woman and a man.
I turned to Cora. So it looks like you already know. Give us a door out.
Already know what?
How to get out of this room. That's what we just did, no?
Yes, but I didn't realize it was connected. I was following a spell that I'd received in the magic shop.
I look around for a door that's opening.
Yep, you will see the doorway that is now open, like in the previous domes that you entered, there was no door, and then all of a sudden there was a door. That is now the case. However, you are going to hear this weird, strange, like groaning that almost sounds like wood. And as you look at I would normally have everybody roll, but again, you guys have vampire eyeballs. So I think as you look at the dome, you kind of see it bending inward a little bit. And then out. And it may take even your vampiric eyes a second to look and go, what the fuck is that?
I don't like it.
As you see that it's kind of like, it's warping strangely. Almost as if
breathing.
We're breathing, yeah.
Yeah. That too.
I'm going to stride over to the next door. And I'm going to open it and look at what's behind it.
There is no doorway to open. It's like every other dome you've been in where there's just like a very tight hallway that you kind of have to, some of you might have to move sideways through. Yep.
All right. Someone keep an eye on me. The last time I did this, I ended up in a coffin again.
Ooh.
I'm going to squeeze through. I'm getting real tired of this door shit. I want to get out of here. I was just in a coffin again. Okay. Do I have to roll anything?
Nope. But I need to know who's following you, if anyone, or if they're staying. Because the decision before you right now is, do you move forward on this side, or do you go, now that this is open, do you go back and continue in the other on the other side? Now,
Is there a place to continue on the other side?
So there was no door, but you know now that now that there's a door here, the door is on the other side as well. Like you could just easily hop over there and finish it. You know, you needed the plate, right? You're missing the one plate that was broken on the other side. So you could essentially take that plate with you through the door.
Back and forth
easier.
Yeah.
Okay. So you could take that plate with you and go to the other side and use it and open a doorway.
In
it's
the
like the
statue room.
stairs.
Yeah.
Right? So this is like the stairs to the floor below. So we just have to go back if we want to get up or down, right? I know it's sideways and next to each other, but it's just the
Yep. So you've got...
I would not be squeezing through the door then. I would be staying. I would be peering out, and then I would be waiting for everyone. Sorry.
Yeah.
Thought I'd
So
say.
you have Dungeon A and Dungeon B. Dungeon B is a mirror of A. In Dungeon B, there was a piece of the puzzle that you needed in Dungeon A to move forward. You can either move forward because you've unlocked the road, the doorway in Dungeon B, or you can take that piece back to Dungeon A and move forward on Dungeon A's side. It's your choice. You're either moving forward in the crypt in VTM world or you're moving forward in the crypt in PBU world. I will tell you, your powers feel different here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's totally up to you.
Thanks for the reminder. The plate is one we were missing in which room?
It was gold. The plate is just the stained glass that's yellow that was broken in the other room.
Okay,
That
but
we
it
were
still
putting in the
works.
lighthouse.
Yes, everything still worked here.
There were 6 we didn't see. We only saw half of them, right?
You only saw half. So if you take this yellow gold piece over to the other side, it potentially will show you something else.
Okay.
However, it doesn't. It just opens the door, which you know because you just did it here on this side. As soon as you mix the yellow plate, and I can tell you, I accidentally misspoke because you guys were supposed to put it in the right order. But the blue and gold one was the one that was if you put the yellow plate in with the blue and the golds, which is the last one that you saw with the smile and the summoning of the door, it then creates a door. It opens the door. So.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So you can take this plate then back with you. I think it was the yellow plate that was broken in the other one.
Yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's the key to opening the doorway forward. And again, that's just me letting you know the mechanics so that you guys can make your decision. You can go forward in this direction if you want. I just wanted to let you know. But your powers do feel differently here. Maybe more familiar, more comforting. You know exactly what you can do. It's whatever's on your VTM sheet.
Yeah.
Also significantly less powerful.
I think that depends. I'm limited by what I can put in front of you here as well, in terms of enemies and things like that.
Have to solve both in each room anyway, so.
Do we go back through the door we just came from?
Do we have
Or
to
do we
go
move
through that
forward
same
here?
thing again?
Yes, but you would know.
Just go.
And Cora would know that the thread has closed now. So you're going to open that door and
just
you're
step
just going to be
through.
on the other side.
Oh,
yeah.
I see. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
it was
cool.
only because she had just created it that you
Gotcha.
were able to
It was
enter that
establishing
space.
itself. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that we've established there's 2 versions of this crypt, I turn to the group. Which side do we want to solve? Completely. We started in the world with the rabbit and all of these strange new things. Do we finish what we started there? Or continue on here?
You may have to excuse me, but curiosity kills the cat. Nah, I want to know what that last plate says.
I nod and look at the others. So we go back?
Yeah, all right. Sounds like a plan, Stan.
I'm kind of just, it looks like not absent-mindedly. I look, I'm thinking about something. I'm chewing on the inside of my cheek and I'm staring either at the animation or when it stops, I'm staring at the wall where it was playing.
Esteban?
Let's see. Lead the way. Let's go back.
I nod and go to the lighthouse, pick up the pane that we need. As I do so, I kind of glance at the others and ask, there were 12 steps to a god's death, right?
Yeah.
We just saw the same 6. Where are the others?
Perhaps they are ahead.
In the next room. If there is another room. Okay, let's go back. I turn to the stained glass door. Go to it. Slide it open. Do I just see the other room now?
Absolutely. So as soon as you slide it open, it's just the mirrored version of the other room. You can even see the cracked plate in there waiting. You also are acutely aware that you left this door unlocked previously. You can continue to leave it unlocked, or you can lock it behind you this time.
Okay. I step through.
Okay.
And probably without really waiting for everyone to pile in, I'll just go straight to the lighthouse and replace the broken pane.
And as you do that, you see the door kind of become visible to you. Or the hallway, the very tiny hallway that you go through. And everyone, I assume, is following in after her, correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Is there anyone who isn't?
I
No,
linger.
I'm sorry, you go.
No, I just linger behind. I'm still staring at the wall, kind of.
I'm leaning on just to the right of the door. I had to remember which way doors open for a minute there. And I'm going to try to be the last one to go through.
If anyone have to say something. I'm just staring at the wall, like clearly thinking about something.
Oh. Yeah, I clear my throat very loudly to try to break your concentration.
Do you need to do something in here?
I think we've already done it.
Only what we just saw. Somebody asking for power, like to open the door. Is that what you think?
I believe it was Cora. Yeah, she did the doorway. We followed through, and then there was. Well,
She heard her name.
yes.
In the other room, I heard the name of the one who sired me.
That's odd. Are you suggesting that she sired herself?
No.
It's very snake eating its own
I am
tail of you.
suggesting it is odd, that is all. I will leave you to this room if you wish to be here, and it don't take too long. Sometimes these doors don't last.
Oh, I'm not going to linger around a door any more than I have to. And
I'll leave it open. I'll leave it open if you like. Maybe halfway. Do you want a little privacy?
You just go ahead. I think this is going to just be our thing now. I think
Going
we're
through
just the
doors?
last ones to go through the doors now.
No, this is I was thinking. But we see. I go through. I leave it open, just a crack.
Stalker, did you go in?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So, Moog, you are the last one in this space. What do you do?
It's the door with the other team on it.
Yeah, it's the stained glass door. That's right.
Yeah. I linger. I run my hand over where Gunner is. And there's rage on my face.
Oh, man.
And
we can't see it, but maybe the audience can a little bit. There's a burning red ember behind the sunglasses that you don't notice, but we do.
And I open the door, and I think my touch singes on the side of the door. Not doing it on purpose. And then my eyes look at our proper portrait, and then it looks at Stalker, just lingers for a bit. No, I don't. And then I walk through.
Cora.
Right then. Oh, that was a lot quicker of a trip. I don't know why I stretched. It felt natural.
Cora, do you lock the door behind you?
Yes. Once everyone is through, then I lock it behind us.
Okay. Totally fine to do that. But to be clear, that means that if for some reason someone were running back here to get to the other side, they need you to be with them or they need the key. Totally fine, but I'm just being explicitly clear.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You know that, though. Cora knows that. So, but it also does mean that you can't have people, nothing going back and forth. You have to be present to open it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think my reasoning for locking it is to at least have some sort of control over something in this maze, in this mess.
Yes.
Of like,
makes total sense.
I'm not going to make it any easier for whoever is manipulating us and doing this.
Yeah. Okay.
Even if they can open the deadbolts that I lock, I'm going to make them have to open it.
Oh, this is a wonderful time to tell you. You will know if someone opens this door.
Wonderful.
You made it. Yep. Okay. So do you all, I'm assuming, funnel through this doorway that has now been created? This like shimmy situation that you have to do as you go through.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, before we do that,
yes.
sorry, there was one thing that we needed. If we brought over here, then we would be able to complete the puzzle here, right?
It was the goal. It was the plate, the yellow plate.
Yeah.
And I believe Cora put it in and then made the door open.
Mm-hmm.
Does it animate something on the wall? Is it the same image? What's the image?
So typically I fucked up this puzzle. You guys should have put it in the right order to then uncover stuff, but I'm just going to put it in the next room. So when she puts the plate in, it just creates a door. So you've done the first 6 in here, and I'll just change and move the next 6 to be in the next room.
Got it.
But yes, you are correct. There should be 12 stages.
So we essentially saw the same thing
yes.
in each, just with a different person.
Just with a different person.
Center, yeah.
Yep. So, but when she puts this plate in, it reveals the doorway rather than animating anything in particular. And so then you all shimmy down through this corridor. And then you reach yet again another dome. This one is covered in moss, but I think that is not important because the first thing that you will notice is 2 skeletal figures that are wearing like regal tattered armor. They have bird-like legs. They have long arms that end in obsidian claws, and they are wearing blindfolds that are woven from embalmed linen. You can see the depression in their eye sockets, and you know they have no eyes. Only one of them, has many, many eyes stitched on their chest, like stitched into, very reminiscent to Hansel. And in the center of the 2 of them is a long dead king. His crown is cracked. He is wearing frayed funeral silks. His feet are replaced by desiccated falcon talons, and he is dragging a cracked gold mask behind him on a chain of bone. His chest cavity has been torn open, his heart is missing, and it is filled with coins bearing many, many different faces. And that is where we're going to end the session. Roll for initiative, everybody.
Oh.
Magic?
No, but
roll?
Yep. Let's do magic roll. You can do magic or body, because I think either one works for me.
Difficulty?
There is none. We're just going to roll to see who gets the highest for now. I think I'm going
47.
to remove this from PBU and just have you guys choose who gets to go first.
35.
But for now, we're going to go based on the way we've done it before. 35. So whoever rolls the lowest is going to go first next week. Okay?
Oh, fuck.
Okay.
Yep. Oh! Stalker goes
yeah,
first.
double.
Stalker goes first.
First.
Wow.
Stalker fucking goes first.
Narratively,
Okay.
yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm going to give you guys a moment to just kind of like react to what you're seeing here as this long dead king, I guess, steps forward with his weird talon feet. He opens his mouth. He has no teeth. They're all missing as well. And he just makes this weird screeching sound as if there's someone inhaling inward. And he lunges at one of you. What do you do?
Okay.
I look at Cora. A friend of yours?
No. Friend of yours?
No, I'm not the one who likes birds, though.
Perfect. And that's where
While
we'll
they're having
end.
a
Oh, yeah. No, go for it.
conversation,
Yeah.
I'm desperately fighting for my life.
Yeah.
And as you're doing that,
pulls out his dagger.
As you're doing that, my eyes go back and forth as you exchange blows. And that's what it feels like.
I'm looking around Esteban's butt for his tentacles to come out and protect us all.
Yeah. I do think there might be a moment where we just
for my asshole.
where we
Yeah.
see like a weird, strange, very brief. I actually don't think anybody in the fucking party notices this, but the audience might recognize the flash of recognition on Stalker's face as he recognizes similar magic to Yaga, right? With the bird transformation. Just for a second, and then it's gone. And the attack
Oh,
begins.
shit.
Yeah.
Oh, friend of yours.
Wow, that initiative roll made total sense then.
Exactly. And that's why he's perfectly ready and knows exactly what to do. Anybody have a parting
shit.
line that I can fade us out
God
to?
damn. Oh, sorry.
I meant in character, but sure, that works.
Oh, sorry.
Esteban says, God damn. God damn.
I watched
I
30
feel like
minutes
it
of
should
TV
be-
and I picked this up.
Yeah, I feel like it should be Stalker.
God
It should be a
damn.
warning of like what to look out for this fucking bird creature.
Yeah, absolutely. Watch out for the talons. They like to go for the throat.
I covered my throat.
It was supposed to end the episode, Greg.
So nonchalant in the way that you love me, indifferent to the ways that you wound me. I know the love is real, despite what my heart can't feel. They say stand up for the things you can't stand to lose. I want you to fight for me. I want you to fight for me. Spectator, shake me awake, rip me from slumber and fight for me, ache, ache, ache for me, babe, shout from the depths, beg me to stay, shake, shake, shake me awake, rip me from slumber and fight for me, ache, ache, ache for me, babe, shout from the depths that you